We're talking with Alan Rosenblatt, Dr. Alan Rosenblatt, also known as Dr. Digipole on Twitter, and we're discussing Senator Chris Murphy, who went on the food stamp challenge over the past week, existing on essentially $4.80 a day. This is in advance of a vote over food stamps coming up in the next couple of weeks. Alan, what was the reaction that from either other senators, or were there other members of Congress who were also following this on Twitter or who were commenting on social media?
You know, I didn't see any other members of Congress participating. I think they should. I think it's a great idea. But there were some activists and some organizations that were applauding him. To be honest, I think, he had a lot of exposure, but there wasn't enough interaction. There wasn't enough going on Twitter about this. I think there should have been greater participation, and this is why I picked this story to some degree. Not so much because it was a huge success. It was a success, but not a huge success. But it's something that members of Congress should do with greater regularity, not just because it is a great way to promote and connect with their constituents and with the nation on issues that really matter to them, but it will also help them make better policy.
And I wonder, Alan, if that also means that perhaps the days of a member of Congress or a senator, or even a president for that matter, going to a factory and perhaps posing with the workers there will soon be replaced by perhaps a politician who actually spends a couple of days working at that factory to really sort of understand what the conditions are like, to have that sort of stronger, deeper connection or engagement with some of these issues that they're discussing on Capitol Hill.
I totally agree. I remember when Stephen Colbert, half jokingly, but for real, went out for a day to work with migrant farmers and to pick crops. And of course, he didn't do a whole lot of work while he was out there, but he was in the summer sweat, in his suit, highlighting what they were doing. I think it's really important. And to be honest, it goes back to my biggest criticism about how most members of Congress use Twitter and Facebook. And they will tweet or post a picture saying, I was at the plant, met wonderful people, but never talking about what it is they talked about, what did they learn, how will it affect their votes, how will it affect their decisions on what kinds of policies to support and oppose. And that's really what people want to know. I'm not interested in the photo op. I'm interested in what you learned and what you're going to do with that knowledge in order to help the country.
Finally, Alan, I can't let you go without asking you about Michelle Bachmann. She's under FBI investigation. There is a sworn testimony we've been told now by her former chief of staff that Michelle Bachmann knew of and approved secret payments to an Iowa state senator to try to secure his help and support before the Iowa caucuses. She's also facing allegations of wire fraud and mail fraud. What's your view of the Michelle Bachmann sort of story, and also how I frankly first even heard a couple of weeks ago about the FBI investigation over social media?
It's interesting. For all that we've gone on, and I'm certainly on record of Michelle Bachmann being a Looney Tune, she's also a tax attorney. And so she knows full well that the stuff that she's under indictment for and under investigation for, that she is that this is very much against the law. So she's played. I'm really not surprised that there was some foolishness going on in the background, because aside from the fact that she's crazy and she's probably a smart tax attorney, she's also a bit disconnected from reality and doesn't quite get the implications of what she does sometimes. And again, would love to see her go on food stamps for a week and see what it does to her perspective.
Well, maybe she'll be at some point. Maybe she'll be able to go on another type of government food program if things don't go her way in this investigation. Alan Rosenblatt, Dr. Digipole on Twitter. Alan, thanks as always for being with us. Have a great weekend.
You too, David. Take care.
Coming up, we will give you the latest about Medicare. There was a great report that came out this week. The trustees of Medicare came out with the latest information. It is good news for people who care about the solvency of the program. Also good news for people who care about health care costs, which are not going up as quickly as they were before. We'll explain all of that along with our Activists of the Week when Take Action News continues after this.